Can a soul know pain? What does it mean, a soul? Well, a soul is somebody who can move and direct his life as a creature of the planet. Something that can move, not just a flower stuck in the ground where the soul is beneath the earth. You see, the flower, he don't want to go nowhere. That flower in your garden, he don't want to go nowhere. He says, don't take me out. Don't take me out of garden. You take me out of garden, I ain't in the soul of the earth. And even if you plant me in the house after, who says I'm going to grow good for you? Shove me in the earth. I get nutrition every night. The two changes of the air connect at the earth. He's between the two sides. He don't want you to take him out. Plus, he's got roots in the ground. He's got his nose in the air. Nice flower. Why did I say that? Because a sad thing happened today. I finally put a slight damper on things in this house. I have brought all the cats to the farm. The first time I brought them in a bunch, they were puffing and sweating and hot. But this time, right? Oh, I'm looking down because I'm a little scared of one of my cats. Yeah, I said I have no cats. And this time when I brought them in something. I covered the top, and they were fine this time when I got them there. They jumped out of the trunk. Yeah, I'm only 10 minutes away, okay, with the windows open and everything. So I took them out of the trunk. Well, they weren't in the box anymore. I let them run in the trunk. And they jumped out of the box, and they jumped out, and I brought them food. And I gave them food. And there's a lot of places to go, and there's open buildings to go into, and there's mice and rabbits and all kinds of stuff. So for them to sit in my house, I mean, what's the point? You sit in my house, I feed you, I have to clean, my neighbors aren't happy, my landlord's not happy, I have an old cruddy carpet that he won't change, all because of my cats. And me, I just couldn't break loose between the two souls. The one soul I have that has the feelings, the emotions, the soul that is connected with the spirit. Soul, spirit, spirit and soul is one, and then you. Because once they mix, the spirit comes in from one, the soul comes in from the other, they meet together, they have a discussion, okay? First they meet you evenly on each side separately. Then they switch sides and ask each other questions. Then they come back together with the mixed answer of the two. And it's like building a cake. When they come back, they have the answer in the sixth spot. And that's you, sixth man. The mind going around. Don't forget, when it gets to the bottom, on the back of your head, it's sort of like, you see the little round it goes? We're like little seahorses. Snap our necks. Our bodies probably won't feel anything. Because when you snap your neck, you don't feel your legs anyways. You snap your neck, you're snapping the two worlds, okay? And one can't feel anything, and one, the senses go up in one, because what happens is the two wires that meet together no longer have to talk, because the other wire, there's nothing left for it to do but join and take care of the rest, so they double up in another part of your body. ACE, the ace. That's what it does. So anyways, what happened, it was so sad. I says, okay, I'm going to go. And I said, should I keep one? And I says, nah. I said, I really like that one with the dash over here. And I pulled forward, and I saw the cat, and I stopped. And it was too late. Because the one I didn't see is the one I put a tire to. And saw it on my door when I got home. I tried to pick up the cat, and I saw that it was so crushed the face, it was in too much pain, so I had to just sever that backbone, that seahorse right there, and just put her out, just to end it. And that was the one I wanted to keep. Her name was Buddy, B-U-D. 2, 3, 4. Hey, Bud, 2, 3, 4. You want to smoke a bud? 2, 3, 4. That's what the letters are. Oh, I can show you so many different diagrams of numbers and stuff, but it's not me, you see. I bet you whatever I'm doing here that you haven't seen yet is being done all over the world. But they don't have my definition included in it. If they would include my definition into already what they're doing, we'll probably find out creation of life a whole lot easier than listening to me, that's for sure. Okay, all we got to do is add a few things. Monopoly. Wait a second. What was the score of the game? What was the date? Okay, we got a connection from this point. Do you know every time a sports game ends, you have numbers you can play with, and you can say, okay, this is where we are. This star is here. The planet is here. Just work with 9 planets, the days of the week, the 30 days of the month, the 12 months a year. But you're only working on today. And you classify today, and eventually you're going to really find out where our coordinates are in space. Because it's all about 613 laws, right? The 6 points of the touchdown, the 1 point of the extra point, the 3 points of the field goal. Now, since we are in the universal world of 2, okay, now you have the 2-point conversion. Why do they call it 2-point conversion? Well, you can use the foot of mother and kick it in for 1 point, or you can decide to run it or pass it now. You got 3 options. One option only has the kick. The other option has the pass and the run. 1 and 2. Together you got 3. Whatever you create becomes D, and that's the answer to 1, 2, 3. 1, A, C, D, C. Because the finality of the whole totality is ACDC. Electronic hookups. Where am I next and where am I going now? I wasn't even going to do a video now. So I hurt my cat and it keeps coming back to me and I keep saying, well, if I cry, I can get into the other world. And maybe when you cry, and I want to cry, so what happens when you cry, right? Your teardrops open, so the gates open up. When your gates flow from emotion, okay, whether it's as true as you want it to be, you look to cry. So when the gates open up, what you get rid of from within, because you can't go to the bathroom and get rid of an emotion, so you cry. So it takes out all that dirt, and then God puts something else into your mind. Everything seems to feel so much better now, right? Because you have to cry. You must cry. Find a reason to cry. Cry and laugh. Because if it comes from the gut, okay, that gut, you know when you laugh, you're actually pulling on the lower of your belly button? Well, that, my friend, that belly button, B and B. Spanish, it would say V. In sound in French, it would say life. Cut it like a knife. Caesarean. It's almost like saying my grandfather's name, but backwards. It's my grandfather's last name, Caesarean, basically. I spilled it out. Anyways, oh my God, we're coming into June, 2 months. In 2 months, my grandmother's 98. See, I only can make Alexis with my fingers. I can't make it into an L. See the different shape? This is what they call a back V. 1:30 in the afternoon, number 3 on your telephone. 90 minutes in the day, 90 minutes at 0.25, and a minute is 222.5 degree movement in 1.5 hours. And ding dong, the life goes on, right? 72 times a day. Ting, 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 ting. And the other ones come from the side. Ting, 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 ting. Do you know why? Because these two from the side, they work together, boom. But the ones up here, there's only 2. Okay, do you follow me? Count this way, 0, 1, 0. Now over here in the center, there's one on this side, one on this side, east and west. So you'd actually go 1, 0, 1. And on the bottom row, you go 0, 1, 0. It's always going to be a formation 1, 2, 1, 2, 0, 2. There's 8 of them. It all has to do with the formation of tic-tac-toe. Once you get one side, okay, once you understand one side, now you can start multiplying everything, okay? And eventually it'll figure out, I mean, how far can you go past 9? And the reason it's for 9 is this one over here, okay, which should be on the bottom, is the 3rd row. There's another row here. It's an empty space that goes here. Then another Rubik's Cube will go right over here. And that empty space will be here. This one will be turned. The other one on the top will be turned. And that's the world in between. Why? Because look, how many points? 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, where am I? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 360 degrees. This is the one Spirit of God. Listen to this. This is square. He owns this, 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 and this. We cross. We make an X. Okay, that's one. Now God is still the one. Okay, of this one in between here. because he's in the center. He goes straight up into here center. And straight up into here center, it's empty. There's nothing there. That's where everything makes all the action. So is that where God is? The inside would be the ball of Jupiter. And he controls everything from Jupiter up to the seventh gate. Because the seventh gate to the center of this Rubik's Cube is 7 and 5 and 5 and 7. 2 years from now, my friends, those two letters spell egg. E-G. Do you know what's between E and G? Well, let's just look at it this way. Say the word or letter. I know I'm off course right now, but say the letter G. G. Sounds like an E. G-E, right? E is the fifth letter. G is the seventh letter. What's in between E and G? 6 man. So 6 is in between. Man is 6. And at the same time man is 6, the word 6 has a 52 letter count, or reverse it to 25, which is Jupiter, Venus. It says Jupiter, Venus, Saturn. That's what it keeps saying. And Venus and Jupiter is the planet 2 and planet 5. Saturn is planet 6. And planet 6 goes back again to Venus, okay, because it's like a clock. This hand is here, and this hand is here. 25, 6, 25. The Mayans, that's what they say. I mean, it's not hard to manipulate a number to make something sound like something. When it actually sounds like it, it's actually more true than anything else. There's a lot of things that have to be done. You know how they work some of the areas? I don't really like to say it, but this moves. It moves here, it moves here, it moves here. It moves all over the place. Because that's you. You only can be in one place at 4 corners at the same time. You're here or here or here or here. You can't be in all of them. And when you're done, you're basically over here. Between 6, 9, 8, and 5. On this side over here, it's 7 and 5. On this side, it's 6, 8. This is the 7th gate of 2 worlds. The 9 also acts like the 7th gate. This is the 7, this is the 9, right? But if I flip this around, okay, and okay, you understand? If I flip this around and go from underneath, okay, 1, before I start here as 1, now I start here as 1 because it'd be flipped, right? So instead of having 7, 9, you'll have 9, 7, 7, 9, 9, 7, 7, 9 on both these corners, okay? Each one of the way this Rubik's Cube moves means something. Even the black lines that you see and the space of the crack in between. There's always a reason for it because it means there's a spacer line. It's protective and cushioning for the world. Every world needs it. We have 9 planets. That means we need 8 cushions in between. Okay, makes 17. Plus we need the outside of Pluto is 18. The outside of Mercury is 19. Then we need the sun would have been 20, and the other side of the sun would be 21, and then it would touch Mercury again. So therefore, if you want to ask me how many steps is the stairway to heaven, I would say 21. But it all depends where you began. And if you began at 0, then it's 21. Because when you're on the bottom step, how many steps up? 6. But you're already on a step that you got on to get on out. You got out of the car to get onto the sidewalk, and onto the sidewalk you shut the door. You shut the door and you were up, but you had to turn around to go see where you were going. But in all this situation, when you were looking to see if anybody was around, just in case you were in any danger. So as you saw, you were still in no danger, but you heard a noise. You still turned around, and you still did not make it onto the sidewalk yet. What are you waiting for? Raphael 7286. What should I talk about? Saturn, 60 moons. Now it's 61. It's almost like saying, whoa, look at that. There's no letters on the one of the phone. Wait, it was 61 moons, Saturn. It was 60, it's 61, it's 60, it's 61. Because they're both the same thing. That's God's spirit is in Saturn. God's spirit is in Saturn. Whatever that eclipse did the other night, it may have been a jump. The moons, transmission of the moons, okay, and the transport of planets, okay, from planet to planet, from information from moon to moon. Now, if you tell me Mercury, right away I'll think of number 1, first planet, no moons. 1 and 0 says 10. So I guess we got the beginning and the end. It starts at Mercury and it ends at Mercury. Do you understand? The Mercury scale, 32 degrees, it's all frozen, right? So anyways, that's how it all began. So now we said 1 and we said 0. Now Venus has no moons and Mercury has no moons. 0, 0. Wow. The Mercury, initial M, no moon and no moon. M-O-O. Moo. Now with creation, the cow, the C, Omega, beta creation, Earth, 1 moon, cow, 3rd letter, Omega is the 15th letter of the cow, and the N is the passage, is the 5th letter. The cow jumped over the moon. But wait a second, jump. It's not jump, is it? Because what the jump is actually about, it's Jupiter, Uranus, Mars, Mercury, Pluto, and Saturn. That's what the jump was all about. That was the rotation. What did I say? I don't even remember. But that was the rotation of the word jump letters. Jupiter, okay? It could be Earth, but it's U for Uranus. But it could be Earth because the U is the 21st letter. 2 and 1 is 3. So it could be a jump from Uranus and Earth, okay? Mars or Mercury because they're M and M, okay? To P, which is Pluto, okay? And I said S because it's more than one jump because there's 2 I's. So now you have Saturn. And Saturn also is a memory of Saturday and Sunday. Okay, all the days of the week, they match the moons and they match the planets. We're here in a game. This is an electronic world. We are electronic men that have the capacity to function at 10% accuracy, actually, most likely, and just about. We have no more than the same amount of brain, 10. We have no more than 10 fingers usually, and no more than 10 toes. Everybody says in this world, everything that is 10 is perfect. And then after they raise the stakes and they say it's now 100%. So they threw another 0 at you. And even the percentage sign seems to have 2 zeros. So now they threw 2 more zeros at you. So what are we working at? We have actually more zeros in this world than we have actually regular different kinds of digits, right? So what happens now? So we have the cow that jumped over the moon, COW. It's almost like a POW, but that would be Pluto. Omega, beta creation. Number 23. Number 23 goes everywhere. You see, God can do what he wants, right? But the minute God, okay, is inside the center world, inside the heaven world, the in-between world, the void, when he's in void, he must work with number 3 because you must create there, because if it's empty, it will fall flat eventually. It's got to move. Space has got to move, 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 or the electrical wiring will come in like a lime and act like a lemon for the rest of your life. So when man decides to go towards war, when man chooses deceit, man is changing the earth. It has nothing to do with the earth changing at all. It's how man is changing the outcome of the earth. It can be controlled, but the good old Lord who built this place said something like this. He says, we will let it be controlled in the hearts of those who love. Why should I control what there is not in thy heart? So he shall love and thy wish will be the planet upon they live. For who shall take and take not from he who has to come, and forever it shall be. But time has come to a point where all men who are strong are only little bitty men up against lawyers and lawsuits and losing houses. Man has no backbone to save his family, while the banks come in, take away his house with the armored trucks. They put you up in a jailhouse. They sterilize you so you can't have any more babies. Well, you know what it is, eh? They're not knocking out or killing 500 million people this year. That's not how it's going to be. It's by sterilization. If you don't have one child in the next 80 years, my friend, your family is dead. But isn't that great? Because it's just going to be like starting over again. Little angels are going to come down and they're going to flood the entire earth another time, and only a few will be saved, and certain ones, and most of them that will suffer just a little bit in their quick death. Most of them will come under the Santa claws. Do you, angel of Delta in the world of creation, want to go down to the planet of Earth? The planet where deceit, love, war comes to face with you every day through your life, where you must pray to money that you get it. You must go and suffer to get it. It's the only time you really suffer in life, when you're suffering for something for money. Even if you're going to furnish something in other people to help them with the money, you have to sacrifice to get the money. Do not pray to gold, for gold is not the God. God is the gold of the intelligence, of the understanding, of the pliable matrix mind, of how we can bend into every situation and still bring out the light in all, making every moment a golden moment and a shine of silver of time. This is the TH world, time heaven. We are in the ST world of 10 first. We are in the ND world of passage of delta. 2 and 2 and 2 and 2. Because like I said, there's only 2 folds in an envelope. From the bottom and the top, fold in and fold this side in. Then north and south, fold this side in, fold this side in. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we got the X on the envelope. You have put together the 4 corners of God, flipped them inside, created that secondary world, which mixes up 2, 1, and 2. Why? Because let's say there's 3 in a row here. You connect it here on the 3 in a row, okay? And what spins inside is all alone. What spins outside is all alone. It doesn't do anything with the inside when you're spinning it this way, and this one this way. So what you have here is 2 dots. Let me do it a different way. You have 2 dots to 1 dot to 2 dots. In roulette, this is red, 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 red. But in roulette, when you get to number 10, okay, this one is 1, 3, 7, 9, okay, 1. When you get to 10, which is also a 1, this one is black, and you can no longer do the X. The only thing you can do is come down to here, and then go to here and create the letter Y. And this Y would be pulling it off. If this was over here, 10, 11, 12, this over here would be a 9. That would be the birth. So now you'd have a line coming from here, 9, to the 3 creation. And now it gets split up. 1 down here and 1 down over here. Now you have the Y formation. Did you understand the Y and how it works? If you put this on a roulette board, there's different colors. Only the 1 or whatever adds up back to 10 goes back to 1. The 10 and 28 are in the 1 position. They are both black. They are 2 of 4. Numbers in that area. These are the 2 that are black. The other 2 is 1 and 19. They are both red. 1 is on the left side of the board red. 9 is on the other side of the board. Therefore, they can do that. 10 you cannot. And 28, okay, is on the left side of the board, the same thing. But the 8 is in the center of the board. So now you have to make it black because you're saying it twice. Do you understand what I'm saying? 2 and 8 is 10. And if the 8 is in the center of, the 8 is in the center, the total 8 is in the center. Whatever you add up, 1 and 7 is 8. Okay, this side is the black. If it goes from this side, in roulette, this, and the middle one, I'm going to keep it short. They interchange with colors for certain reasons. You know what, I wanted to explain it exactly as the Y here and here, 7 and 9. Creation goes into here. This goes out flat, lifts it up to here. You got the heaven right here, the beginning of one part. There's a 7th gate here. This is a 7th gate here, and underneath there's another 7th gate. Okay, you don't go up to here. You go down to here. Okay, this becomes an open space. You're in an open space. Plus, there's an open space below you. It almost looks like the plus sign. All these corners are shaved off. They're all sliced off corners, points. They end up building around this the Magen David. This is one corner of the Magen David. This is the other corner of the Magen David. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 pieces like this, okay? Because there's many, there's so many things. Okay, I went on a little bit too far for what I had to do. We're going to end it right here, but not end it. We're going to stop, and we're not going to stop. But I have something to say. Do I have anything to say? Back to the moons again. So we have no moons on 3 different places. The 2 places, okay, are Mercury and Venus. So if there's no 2 moons, okay, so the moons that there are none of is the moon of spirit and man. 2 eggs. So the 1 has no moon and it has no spirit in man. And the 2 the same thing. But Pluto has 3 moons. 1 Mercury, 2 Venus. It's just like replacing the planets with a joker. What joker? Well, Venus is the black joker and Mercury is the red joker. Is he? Should be. Anyways, there's another story in there besides that. So now what you have is you have this planetary setup of moons, okay, where number 1 and number 2, 0, 0. Hey, 12 o'clock. Isn't that the way it begins? It begins at 12 o'clock. First planet, second planet, no moons and no moons. We're at 12 o'clock. We go to the third planet, or 1300 hours, which is 1 o'clock. And at 1300 hours at 1 o'clock, what do we see? What is the next planet at 1300 hours at 1 o'clock? I don't know. I don't see anything at all. All I see is from where I came. 1 and 2, 12. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, same thing. So that's why when you go play craps and you throw 1, 2 and you lose your dice, and 1, 2 and 1, 1. You must dice a minimum of 4. 4 corners. Then you got a space. You got to start with 4 corners. So how did we get to? So now we get to 3 o'clock, and 3 o'clock would be 3 o'clock. 1500 hours. 15, Omega, the egg. 3 o'clock, Earth, third planet. So now we have 12 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Now we have Mars is next. And don't forget, this can be all broken down by odd and even numbers. Then we have Mars next. Mars has 2 planets, okay, that would say 4 o'clock, okay, Mars, and 2 planets, and so let's say 20 minutes. So 4:20 in the afternoon. So let's add up 24, and what do we create with the 24? 2 times 4 is 8, means the connecting heaven. 4, 4 and 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. East and west, 6 and 4 man. 4 plus 2 is 6. So now we connected all the, anyways, I gotta stop. I can do, because you know what, sometimes I get mixed up because there's so many ways to do it. You can do it planet 1, 3 and Jupiter, and you can do it Jupiter, Uranus and Pluto, and you can do it Mercury and Uranus, and you can do Earth to Pluto, and then you can jump where you can go Venus to Earth, and then you use all the moons. If it says 6, you got to go to Saturn. If it says 3, you got to go to Earth. But not only on Earth, you got to remember it's also the C letter. Okay. Also at the same time, because we run around the sun, we run by months, days, years, and seasons, because that's what works with the coordinates. So therefore, you have to implement in 2 or 3 languages, days of the week, months of the year, how many days in the month, number of days in a season, the number of days during the year, and then you can probably find the real coordinates of all these moons and find out how they hop, skip, and jump all this information off this planet, right? Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. If I don't know something, I know a whole lot of something. If I don't know something, I know a whole lot of nothing. If I know nothing at all, I know nothing at all, but everything I think I know, I think I know. Is that possible to know something you think you know, but how can you think you know something? I can tell you what I do know that I don't have to think. I connect inside my head. It feels good. It's terrible that I can't come on here and continuously put up good videos, not 28 minutes of screwing around, although I'm not really screwing around, but 28 minutes of focused, because I really want to show you this moon deal and show you how they hop, okay? And I really want to show you that the eclipse and the brown dwarf star is out there, and Nibiru is out there, and Planet X is out there. The mothership has been injected into the system. Don't you know? This is an electronic system. In reality, either they're injected in or they're injected months and months and years ago and live amongst the other planets. We are the only one like this. We're the only one. How do I know? Because it says je, it means I, which means game. We're the only one of this game, okay? There are other worlds, but not of this game, G-A-M-E, from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. to 6 p.m. Raphael 7286. Okay, I gave myself shit for that, okay? I'm going to do a rating on this. I'm going to rate 37.5, and then I'm going to change to something else. Hockey. Now, wouldn't it be funny? Isn't this crazy? What's going on in your neighborhood? Well, I don't know. I live in New Jersey. I think the Statue of Liberty is falling down or something. Why? What's going on? He says, well, you see that new movie that's out there with the vampires? He says, now that the Devils won the Stanley Cup, there's devils everywhere. So what do? You make everybody feel like a king so you can sell good stuff. Not a devil. You want a king to win. And if you look at the emblem of the Los Angeles King, flip up the bottom. It'll be like an envelope. You can deliver them home. Nobody minds getting something from a king. But when you get a letter and the back of it, it says, from the Devils. You go, what the fuck? I mean, how can the Devils win this year? I mean, the best sell is to sell someone who's a king. Hey, man, real cheap. Buy something that belongs to the king. Los Angeles King. Lifeangel.ca. Canadian angle. Is the Santa Claus. You said it's okay. You bargained with me and you pleaded to come into this world of earth. And now that you are here and your memory has been silenced, you are sleeping in the heavens and rejoicing on the earth. What kind of life would you like to go through? Oh Lord, there's a problem other than what kind of life. People are confused. They think the government should pay for everything. The only thing the government should do is refund an association that will get the money and take the money to use it for the schooling of the children. To use that money for the hospitals and not for the wars. And then the federal government, oh, just let them take care of the highways. They're having enough trouble with the potholes anyways. And every time you get into a pothole, you get in trouble and it costs you. And when you decide to grow a little pot at home, they come after you and bust you. So no matter what you do with the pot, you're screwed, my friends. Okay? You are screwed. Now the word from our sponsor. You know, when I look at my screen, at my camera, it looks like the number 2. Why are you number 2 right now? Anyways, do we get back to the moons? Listen to this. Moses said the laws are 613. Saturn, Mercury, Earth. Finished. That is a total of 10. What would be next? Is it possible we are a pod inside Jupiter? Or are we free roaming between the other planets? They did say gate 7 into 8. But there's something missing. Even if the totality of the pound key totals 9, where possibly can we live? If it's a stop sign, it shows there's a house on each corner because you can't go there. And that would be area 3, Earth. And I really don't want it to be there, but if we end up being on Earth, well, what can I say? Okay, area 1, Mercury, which I seem to have Mercury and Venus inside my heart. Okay, the 3 things I have in life is Mercury, is my blood, is my heart. Okay, now Venus, okay, is the connection between basically what goes through you in the heavens, all the food and all your organs and everything. And then the 3 is the creation, and that's the earth, your body and your skin and everything. So you're not really real, you're real from the earth. Okay, but do we live on that planet? If you're real from the earth, why would we not be on Saturn? Because Saturn says it turns around. Saturn says Saturday, okay, samedi in French, Saturday. Sunday is almost like Saturday. A Sunday, okay, would be 0. What color would the sun be? You see, the sun, if the sun is orange, it would be the 5 ball. Okay, so the 5 would be Jupiter. Jupiter, our sun. So I'm just throwing things around where things can be. Not only that, when you connect to the spirit angle, which is the communications through Jupiter, okay, because I think Jupiter moons, there are 63 moons, okay, somehow they talk to the moons of Saturn and Venus. You see, but there is no moon on Venus. But there's 60 moons on Saturn. But now there's 61 moons on Saturn. That means the one spirit is now you see, inside, this is what I wanted to say to begin with. Inside Saturn now, the arrival of God is there. Somebody on his behalf is there. Okay? Because that's why Saturn went from 60 to 61. Now, where is Saturn? What is Saturn doing? Do not get mixed up. I'm guessing it's either between... and it's got to be in the upper world. You can't go down to Pluto because that would be the underworld, because that's where you were born, inside the water of the belly of a whale. That was your mother. So you have to live above 9, so you have to be in 6. But you can't live on the roof because you're not protected. So 6 would be on the outside. You have to live on a planet that's in between Jupiter and Venus. Is there something going on between Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn inside that triangle? What's going on in that triangle right now? If there's a planet there, that's us. Okay, that's what I think. Secondly, we might all be inside of Jupiter because Jupiter is so big, and then everything else is distorted. The object in the mirror seems actually larger than they appear. The objects in the mirror are actually closer than they appear. The objects in the... Is he reading that damn mirror? So you understand what I'm saying? Are you following what I'm saying? I make a mug in David, okay? I have to separate this side and this side. It's an automatic, the top and the bottom. You know, I was telling you, between the center here and here, 5, 6, and 2, 6. This is your mind is in between here. It has to be in between here. It's part of this triangle, okay? This, and this, it flips in. And when it flips in, it recreates the same image on the outside. That's how I drew the image on the inside. It enlarges and creates double X's everywhere. Well, here on the first row is 1X, but there's nothing here. 0, 1, 0. In the second row, there's nothing here but an X, which would be 0, 1, 0. Here, all the way down, you have 4. And then here, all the way down, you have 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. 2, 0, 2, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0. There's more of an explanation than that. These all become I's. These are all connecting. These are the in-betweens. In between 2, 0, and 1 is 1. So all you have to do is replace them with 1. But they're doubled up. Beta doubles up here. North and south, you go over each other. Here you go hand in hand. 10, 20, 30, 40. And the center you meet at the 50-yard line, and the game, she begins. But why does the Canadian football have 55? Because you have to be 50-50, and the extra 10%. American football, split the field in half at the 50. Put another 10 yards in there. Those are the 10 yards that you get to share with your angle. You put the field back, you have to take off 5 yards on each on American football. You end up playing with 45 yards and 45 yards. 45 and 45 is the 90 angle. 9 and X world 10. 9 times 10, 90. And then you have 90, which would be the birth. The 7th gate would come, lift you into the 8th heaven, which is actually the 5th position of your telephone, or the 5th position where the ace hang out. It's also worth 5 points. Everything you usually see on cards or dice, all the dots are worth 5 points. All the cards, all the dots are worth 5 points. Basic count. And also, if you always count it, the average will always be the same, totality-wise. In dice, it's not that. In dice, it's something different. Can we end this now? I don't want to give away all my secrets. I want to give you away all my secrets. Listen to this. You ever hear Pearl Jam? Because, you see, this is a clam, right? It could be a clam. It could be a pearl. The reason for these lines, okay, you see the way it's hooked up here and it's hooked up here? It's wiring or it's a flip. This will go and it'll flip the other way, leaving one empty space here, one empty space there, and that empty space that's there will flip over this way. Another one will come from the bottom and flip over this way. Then this one will flip out of the way. The next one, isn't that confusing? Anyway, the rotation of a clam, it fills in gaps, because when the seventh gate is going, right, it's got to go up and down and up and down. So the clam, it'll go like this, and the seventh gate lifts up and it's done, it goes down. The seventh gate lifts up and it's done, and that's like the clam mouth, okay? The other thing about the clam or the oyster is that it gives a pearl. Does it give a pearl or it makes it plural? Do you know why it makes it plural, a pearl? Because the pearl is what they use, okay, must be what they use, I'm not sure, to connect, okay, to your main brain, okay. I don't know if they need this here on earth or up in heaven, I don't know what it is, but it's based on a pearl. So even though it's one pearl and I say plural, it's because once it's connected, it's now connecting an angle, an angel, and a man. At the same time, it's connecting the spirit, and everything else is connected to the line of pearls. I don't know how it works. Not completely. The other thing is IS 11:9. Can anybody figure it out? No? 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 1x, okay. X, I told you, is on the second level. X is 10 in Roman numerals. So 10 and 1 plus 0 is 0, okay, because in Roman numerals, if you put a 0, it means really omega. And omega 15:9 means 6/9. 1 and 5 is 6. But 1 and X is 1 and 1, okay, or a 110 volt, if you want to look at it that way. So 1 and 1 is 1 and 1. 1 next to the X is a 9. If it was on the other side, it'd be 11. So you get 11:9. And the word is it. Is. Sit down, it says. You know what? I hope I told you something that you would understand. I hope so. I'm working so hard, and I haven't. I mean, you know what's really freaky? If I ever get a group together, are we going to learn? I mean, somebody's going to write this down, because I haven't even explained anything half as good as I've explained it to myself already. And I have to memorize everything that I do, and I don't memorize it. I just, every time I start, it's like starting over again most of the time, except this time I have more and more tools. So now I have tools, and inside those tools is what I do with anything I find. So like I said earlier on in this cassette, everything and every way that I do things is probably already done with scientists around the world, but they haven't added in the game. All they have to do is add in the game, and they will find the right frame. But they also have to, I'm not sure. Okay, Raphael 7286. Let it go at this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Thank you. So who is going to win the cup? I'm going to have to say the Los Angeles Kings will win. In fact, they sort of have to win. They're probably focused at long odds. I don't know. They're probably 4-1. But it's not because they played well. But if the Devils win, it would be perfect. Devils in the street, everybody getting confused. Their police will be able to get into the street because they're going to think it's another protest and it's just a Devil rally, and they'll put all the people in jail for rallying for the Devils. But no one can actually put you in jail for rallying for the Kings. Yay, King, go! The other one says, oh, screw the Devils. So if it's up to the police thing, I can give you both roads. But I still think the Yellow Brick Road ends up in Los Angeles, because that's the way it should be. And then again, if Los Angeles is the opposite of something terrible, Canada.ca would be something good. So therefore, Jersey's on the East Coast, closer to Canada. Anyways, the reason I picked the Devils to lose is because the Kings in a number count have 6, and the Devils have only an average of 5. And in most situations, when you have the average, you are the best. Because in this life, you're not much more than average. You're just a Joe Blow, a jack of all trades, with an ace up your ass. So in French and in English, we are angel residents of Uncle Sam, and I bid you a samedi.